College Goose. So EPIK Series where are we at? Interview process. This is kind of an important one, I think, because a lot of people get chucked after this round.
Yeah.
And you don't want to
it also makes people the most nervous, I think. So, after you've submitted your paperwork and you've passed the initial application, they will email you after a very, very long time. Months go by, and you may feel like they have forgotten about you. I know some people are like emailing them like, do you have my application still? Yeah. Don't do that. But just wait patiently. But it does take a really long time.
At least a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say it's at least a month, maybe a month and a half before anyone ever hears back. I would suggest, so they originally sent you a link to join their Facebook group. It's like a closed Facebook group for that specific EPIK intake. I would join that group because a lot of times people will start posting when they've gotten their interview time. So everyone roughly gets it around the same time, and it's a first come, first serve. So the people who sent in their application first get the first interview slots.
And so if you do have any questions about the interview process or anything like that, once you're in the Facebook group, then you can ask in the Facebook group, or you can also Google it. And just remember, Google is always your friend. Sorry. Google is always your friend, and your coordinator from EPIK, like, they're really busy, especially at the beginning of the application process, because they have to read everyone's essays and like pick and choose people inside of interview times, and it's just like a lot of work, I'm sure. So yeah, just make sure you Google or ask on the Facebook page first.
Yeah, because a lot of times people will just email the coordinators directly saying, hey, it's been a while, I haven't heard back, when's my interview, when's my interview, when's my interview, and they get 20 bajillion emails that say the same question.
Yeah. And the answer is still, I don't know.
Yeah. the answer is sometimes just wait. Guys, everyone calm down and just wait.
Yeah. If you do pass the application, then they'll send you an email saying congratulations, you've passed, and now we'll do an interview. Then you have like a week, I think, or so. But yeah, this would be the time that you can ask them questions, and they'll ask you questions, and it's a Skype interview, so they can like actually see you.
Yeah, so make sure you're in a room that's quiet and you won't be disturbed.
And you have good internet.
You have good internet. That's really important because it is a Skype interview. And then for the time, so they're going to send you a time in the email, and it's going to be highlighted, so you like definitely know what time they're suggesting. Please make sure you're remembering that this is in Korean Standard Time. So it is time here in Korea, not time where you are. So please make sure you're making those conversions and you can make that specific time. If for some reason you cannot make that time, do not freak out. You can request a new time. They're usually really nice about it. I know I had to change my time because based on what I sent them, it just didn't work out because I had something. I honestly don't remember. But if you need to change it like one time, just send them an email, maybe suggest some new times. Don't just write, I need a new time. That's really vague. Give them a list of suggested times that you can make, and they'll try to accommodate. Don't try to reschedule it 5 times though, because then you just look like an asshole. And they won't like you. Yeah, probably.
So what to wear? Since it is a Skype interview, you do want to look nice. And along with what to wear, make sure like your background, like I would say this is too busy of a background. You don't want to distract the person that you're interviewing with.
I think it's okay if it's busy, as long as there's something inappropriate. Like if Payton had like naked photos on there, that's like a little inappropriate. You don't want that in your background.
I went with as like plain as I could because I didn't want them like looking behind me, like trying to figure out what was on the wall instead of listening to me. But no, well, I read that on the internet.
What?
Yeah. I did a lot of research because I was really nervous.
Oh, so I applied twice, and I got in both times. But the first time was just because like my schedule, I just like decided I wanted to wait to come. So, but my first time interviewing, I did it in my bedroom, and I had like a huge world map behind me. And then the second time I interviewed, it was at my dad's office, and I had just like all his like stuff.
So you can just make the call.
Yeah, it's up to you. Just don't have anything like inappropriate behind you.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
And so what to wear? So best advice would be business casual. So it is like a job interview, so you want to be professional, but you also, like, guys, you don't need to be in like a 3-piece suit with a tie. That's just like a little too much. Maybe if it makes you feel like really confident, just like do you. But I would say business casual is the best.
Yeah.
So like ladies wear a nice blouse, everyone wear pants. You are sitting down, but I did read some horror stories online. Someone needed a pen, and so they had to like stand up and get their pen, and I think they were wearing pants, but they were like really concerned. Like, what if I wasn't wearing pants, or what if I was wearing pajamas? Because some people, they probably do that. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, no one will make you stand up during the interview.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not like show your outfit.
Yeah, show us your whole outfit.
And then I did read this other story where a girl was doing her interview, and she was like very professional. But then her boyfriend, like in the background, like walked through, and he wasn't wearing pants, and she didn't pass because I'm sure the coordinator was like scarred for life. But yeah, so just
keep that in mind. Wear some pants. Make sure everyone else in your house is wearing pants, just in case they come through the back.
Like, be in a secluded room by yourself.
Yeah.
Lock the door. I don't know. But yeah, wear sleeves. I would say don't wear a tank top. Don't sexy shoulders.
Yeah.
Don't do
it's
that.
sexy here in Korea.
Yeah.
Show your shoulders.
Yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking about, we have another video talking about all of that. But yeah, sexy shoulders. Avoid those.
Yeah.
And then business casual, guys.
Yeah, button up shirts, nice shirts. You could wear a dress with a cardigan. Nice.
Yeah. Or
comb your hair.
Yeah, just like a nice sweater even. It's fine. So what to expect during the interview, they're going to mostly be clarifying everything you wrote in your initial application. So they're going to be combing through your application. Well, not combing through. They've already marked things that they want more clarification on, and they will ask you, and then any sort of formatting changes that need to be done. So make sure you have a pen ready as well. So make sure you have a pen and your application in front of you so that you can mark down all those changes, because they will ask you to then resend a revised application if anything was wrong, which honestly, like, probably there's something. Like, even just like a small number thing, they usually ask about that.
Yeah. Or if you've even like finished your TEFL by then and they ask, and they'll be like, okay, like you need to write like this.
Right.
This,
any updated information changes. So I remember I was in the middle of my TEFL when I applied, and then I finished my TEFL, so then I had to update those dates and hours. On top of that, they will ask you questions about your essay. They're going to dive a little deeper. Please remember, they've already read your essay, so don't sit there and reread your essay to them. They've read it. But they might ask you some more clarification on it, and if you have any more interesting anecdotes that you can throw in there. Try to be your usual charismatic, charming self, essentially.
And honestly, a lot of the questions that they will probably ask, you could probably find online. But you don't want to be too rehearsed. So, like, I would say think about how you would answer some things, maybe about, like, classroom management, or how you would deal with, like, difficult students or, like, different levels of students. But don't be, like, super prepared where, like, you're, like...
reading off a cue card,
yeah,
essentially.
So just be natural, be yourself. They want to see you as, like, a real person that would, like, actually be working with children, not, like, I'm a perfect human being and I have all the answers for everything in life.
Yeah. And then lastly, if you have any questions for them, I think that everyone will always ask, do you have any questions for me at the end? It's just a typical interview question, and I think you should have a few questions. There's no way you have no questions.
Yeah. Otherwise, it looks like you're not
care.
really interested, or you haven't really thought about very much.
Yeah.
It's like you're moving to another country. You should have questions.
Yeah. But also don't get ahead of yourself with your questions. So you shouldn't be asking, like, first off, you shouldn't be asking questions you can Google. Like, what's the voltage in Korea? Should I be prepared for this? Yes, you should be prepared for a new voltage if that's different. But you can also Google what voltage is in Korea. I think it's more about questions regarding EPIK process, anything more you should be preparing for the EPIK application process, what you should be expecting for next steps.
Yeah. And also, before the interview, I would take a look at their EPIK website, because they do have a lot of information on there, and they probably don't want to answer all those questions again if they have it on their website.
Yeah. And avoid anything about packing, because, like, you haven't
passed.
You haven't passed. You might not even go. So it's a little weird to be asking those questions, especially also because they have a whole packing list on the website. And a lot of people ask questions. You could be asking something that's almost offensive, where you ask a question that makes Korea seem like it's not a first world country, and it is.
Because they have deodorant.
So just be aware of those, but definitely have questions because you should have them if you actually want to move here.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
Yeah,
Seems good.
Yeah, you don't need like a whole list.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, they don't have time. Like they don't want to answer 10 questions.
Yeah, they have interviews scheduled back to back those days when they start interviewing. So just keep those in mind as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just make sure you're coming here with the right intentions. And I think if you are coming here with the right intentions and you know that you're going to have responsibilities and you're going to be a teacher, that should probably come across, in your interview. And that's really, I think, all they want to make sure is that you're like an okay person,
right? And
you're not coming to Korea to just like party and destroy things.
Yeah, they just want to make sure you're coming here with knowing that you will have responsibilities and that you will be respectful of the people and the culture, and you will know that you are here to teach these kids.
Yeah, they may ask if you've looked into like studying Korean or at least like learning their alphabet.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they want to make sure that you're coming in with the right intentions and you're putting in some effort into potentially adjusting yourself to your new life here.
Yeah, and we'll say this in almost every video we make regarding EPIK, but it's really important that you are coming here knowing that you are here to teach these kids, because that is your day-to-day life here.
Yeah.
And there are some people who've snuck in through the cracks who are clearly not here for those reasons, and it's really upsetting to watch from like our perspective as well as I know from like EPIK's perspective, because it tarnishes EPIK's reputation and the reputation of other teachers here. And we're for the most part pretty welcomed here, but in like a larger scheme of things, the placements in EPIK are getting smaller and smaller, and you don't want to be the reason why you know someone loses a placement for the future.
Yeah, and these kids do really look up to you, so you want to be a good role model for them, and you want to take it seriously, because for them, especially like later on in their life, knowing English is important if they want to get a good job or go to a good university. Yeah. So you're like their initial step into being comfortable with all of that.
Yeah, that's just outside of the process. Yeah, that's just the whole EPIK process in general, to keep that in mind as you're going through with this application. So yeah, those are our tips for the interview process. Hopefully this was helpful, and let us know if you have any further questions about it. We're happy to answer them. In the meantime, please don't forget to like,